Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the last few videos we hosted ODK Central and looked at the ODK Central interface. So today we are going to begin deploying our forms onto ODK Collect. Everything we've done so far is a build up to this moment. The forms we've created, we've only seen how they work on Enketo, but in the long run we really want to see how the forms work on ODK Collect because that's where the data collection is going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy the form to my ODK Collect, and then we'll see how that works. So I'm going to use this form, this project here, Mobile Forms Guru. We've already uploaded our form from the last video. So I'm going to go to app users because I want to use it on the app. I haven't created an app user, so I'm going to go ahead and create one here. It says enumerator. I'm going to name it enumerator. And I'm going to create that. Now it's giving me a QR code, so I'm going to go ahead and scan the QR code with my ODK Collect. Apologies in advance. My screen quality for my ODK Collect, it's not going to be very clear, but it's going to show you the basic of what you can do. So I'm going to toggle this tab here and open my ODK Collect. So this is my phone. I'm going to open ODK Collect and I'm going to scan the QR code. So this is the page you'd receive once you install ODK Collect on your device. If you don't have the ODK Collect app, you can go ahead to the Google Play Store and install one. Before you ask, at the time of making this video, ODK currently does not have an iOS app and is not working on one. So if you want to use ODK Collect, you can only use it on an Android device. If you have an iOS device, then it's time to pause the video and go and get an Android device. We'll wait for you. All right, welcome back. Now for the iOS users who have already who've gone to get an Android device, welcome back. So if you don't have a form, you can always click on the option here at the bottom right that says try a demo. It's a demo form by ODK where you're able to see a few forms and see how they work. But since we already have a form, we're going to click on scan configure with QR code. So we do that. We're going to give permission and we scan the QR code. Okay, now this is a warning. It's telling us we'll be asked to allow features for ODK, so it's able to do certain features. So we're going to click on allow to do that. So this is the page you land on once you import your forms. You have this menu here. You have start new form, you have drafts, you have ready to send and sent, and then delete forms. If you want to add more than one configurations, you can have more than one configuration in your device. You can always click on the arrow over the top right here, the letter here, and once you do that, you have another option here that says add project. So you can add more than one project, and you can have multiple projects on your device. So you can just toggle between the ones you want to use, and you can fill the forms accordingly. This is ODK Central, so there isn't any need for get new form or get blank forms because it does that automatically. By default, it refreshes every 15 minutes. You can click on this and go to settings to view other settings on the device. You have the project display, which displays the name. You can change the color here if you want. You have the user interface, which you have the default language set and the theme and other navigation styles. By default, it's swipe, but you can also swipe and buttons, but you can choose to use only swipe or use buttons depending on the one you'd like. And then the text size, the font size is medium. I'm going to make it maybe large. You can change the font. And then this is where you have form management. By default, it refreshes every 15 minutes to receive an update. If you want that to be longer, you can increase it, but in most cases, this is the best. Then you have blank form update. So this is the one that matches exactly what's on the server. So if I add a new form and the form is changed, you see exactly what you have access to, which is the best thing. So you don't need to edit anything here unless you're technical or you want to make some changes depending on your workflow as a data administrator or as a data manager, the one who send people to the field to get the data. So you might make a few changes here based on what works for you. The auto send is set to both Wi-Fi and cellular. So if you don't want your enumerators to use their cellular data, you want only Wi-Fi, Based on your use case, you can always change this. But we're not going to edit any settings here, but this is just basically it. If you want to share this settings with someone who doesn't have access to ODK Central, so let's assume I want to share this QR code to people that I can't see. So they wouldn't scan the QR code obviously on my device. So the thing you do is you come to project management here. As you can see, project management here. You click on project management and it shows you reconfigure with QR code. So if you click on reconfigure with QR code, we're going to do that now. Yeah, it's going to show QR code, and then you can display this QR code to any other Android user, any other person who has ODK Collect on their device, and they can scan this and get the settings. If you want to share it with them, maybe on a WhatsApp group, or maybe you want to email it to them or send it to them somewhere else, using any channel, you could use the share button, and then you choose the preferred channel, and you can share the QR code with them. If you want to import the settings, assuming you have the settings already on your device, someone sent it to you via WhatsApp, via email, or any other channel, you can click on this the three dots at the top right here, and you can import your QR code. So that is it. So if you have the QR code already on your device, you click on this, you click on import QR code, and you can choose to navigate to where it's located on your device, and you just import it. You click on it and it imports the settings. So that's it. If you have access to the QR code to scan it, if you open the form for the first time, you see add project. If not, you click on this, click on add project, and you scan the QR code. If you already have it on your device, you click on on the three dots at the top right, and you click on import. If you want to share it to another person, which means you're the person who has the settings, like in our own case, we click on the icon, click on settings, then project management, reconfigure with QR code, then QR code. And now this is the QR code for the project. Now that we've done that, we have the QR code. So we're going to go back to our ODK Central. We're going to go back to our ODK Central. So I'm going to resize this so I can have them side by side. So now that we've done that, we click on start new form. But once we do that, we don't have any form. We have two options. If you have a long list of forms on your device that you have access to, you can always search with the search icon. If let's assume you have access to maybe 10, 15, 20 forms, you can just search by them. And you can also use this option to sort either alphabetically in ascending or descending order, or based on the time they've been updated, the newest to oldest, or the last that you saved, based on the ones you're filling. So you can choose the one, but by default it sorts it from A to Z in ascending order. So we haven't given access to any forms for this QR code. So to do that, as you remember from our last video, we're going to come to form access, and the form on my device is mobile forms guru videos. So I'm going to click on enumerator and save. Now usually once you do this, after every 15 minutes, ODK Collect refreshes if it's connected to the internet, and that way you get the new form. But if you want to get it instantly, you can just refresh and you do that. So I'm going to open the device and I'm going to refresh. And as you can see, it has refreshed and it has access to the forms that I've given it access to. And of course, if I were to check and save, the moment you refresh, it takes away the access. So this is one of the things we discussed in the last video. You're able to give access to the form applicable. So if I had 5 more forms, I would give access to enumerator, and then I would save, and whenever they refresh, they're going to see the form. So we're going to go ahead and open our form and see how it appears on ODQ Collect. Prior to now, we've been seeing how it appears on Enketo, but now we're going to do that. So once you open our form, if you remember our question, I'm going to pull out our form here. I think this is it. Our first question asks the number of pupil, which is going to inform our repeat group. So we're going to say 2. I'm going to go next. Then it's asking what's your first name. As you can see here, our group name here is user information here. That's the group label, the repeat group. And here it's also showing us user information. And because it's a repeat group, it's telling us this is the first person. So I'm going to go ahead and write my name. Jacob. Middle name. I don't have a middle name, so I'm just going to skip. And last name, I could say Abdul. What's your date of birth? So we're going to select a date. So let's just scroll up, select a date, and we'll click OK. We've selected the date of birth and address. So I'm going to write address. Now this is the second repeat group. As you can see, it says user information, and this now says 2, which means it's the second information. We're going to fill this in too. What is your country of origin? Nigeria. Ethnic group. How old are you? Let's say 14. Well, 14 is an adult, so we're going to put 18. Oh, between 19 and 35. So let's just say 20. Your height in meters, 1.5. Your weight in kg, let's say 25. And it displays our body mass index. And we can go ahead and capture our location. This is not compulsory, so we can just yes, we can go ahead and see how the and trace a path. We're not going to do that right now, but if you wanted to, we could trace a path. Our question for trace an area, which is where you use it to trace a polygon. You can capture images. This is how they appear. So once you deploy, you begin to see how they appear, and you can make changes accordingly. In the next coming videos, we're going to look at advanced features, look at a few questions we've added, and see how we're able to use them. This is where we specified uploading a file. File upload, if I might mention, is something you need to use with caution. It doesn't give any limit to what file can be uploaded. So files that are corrupted, that might have some viruses, could be uploaded. So it's something to look out for, and to be very careful and cautious when you're using a question type that allows you to upload a file, especially when you're downloading from ODK Central. So you need to be very careful, and the workflow you need before you specify that. So let's rank the subjects. As you can see, this is how the ranking appears. So we're going to move the subjects across. Once we are done, we click on OK, and this is the ranking. And then hours spent in a day. This is our range with a step of 0.5, as you can see here. Let's scroll down a bit and see it. So this is it. We said, yeah, hours spent in a day. It's a range, it's a picker, and it starts from 0 and ends in 24, and a step of 0.5. So as you can see, it has an increment of 0.5 each. So you choose the one, you scroll to the one you want, and then you select it. So that's how you navigate it, as you can see. And as I mentioned, our instance name is this. Let's look at our instance name. I think our instance name is here. We can look at it. So we are going to see how that is. So our instance name means the name of the particular submission. So the name of our submission is our BMI. So as you can see, our BMI is 11.11, and so it takes that and saves it as the name of our form. So that way we're able to identify our form based on BMI. So you can make this dynamic and you can change it. We're going to do that in coming videos. Sorry, my screen went off. So now I'm done. So I can send, or I could alternatively save as draft. But once you click send, you can't edit it. So let's save as draft, so we can always come back to it. Now, as you can see, we have one under draft. We have one under ready to send. We have, we don't have anyone under any other of the options. When you click on start new form, I hope you can see it. You can see the version here reading 2024-08. So that way you're able to know the version you're working on and when it was added. And this particular version was added on the 28th of August 2024, which was when we recorded our last video. And the ID of the form is MFG vid, which is what you can see here. And the name of the form is Mobile Form Guru Video. So this is where the setting sheet comes into play. So if you want the name of your form to change, we can always change the name here. And once you upload, it's going to make the change. and with our version. So we're just quickly going to make the changes under settings and see how that appears. I think the first thing I would want to do, I would want to make a change under our survey sheet. Yes, so I'm going to put everything, I'm going to add this to, oh, I made a mistake. So I'm going to change the appearance here to field lists. So field list is where you have all your questions appear in one page. Oops, made a mistake. So this is it. Field list. We're going to change the name to Mobile Forms Guru Demo. So that's what we want to do. Yeah, so let's name it Demo. Our instance name is not going to be BMI anymore, so we're going to name it pupils. So the number of pupils, that's what we want instead of BMI. So we're going to change BMI to pupils. So now that we've done that, let's save and upload our new form, our new definition. So we've already saved our form. We come under the particular settings here. We're going to create a new draft. So since we're uploading the new form, and we're going to upload a new definition. We're going to drag our form. We're going to upload. Yeah, so success, the new form definition has been saved as draft. So now we want to publish our form. Once we publish our form, it's instant and almost instantly. So now we're going to refresh. And I don't know, I hope you can see it. You can see the name of the form has changed, of course. Mobile Forms Guru Demo instead of video as we had earlier. And the version has updated also. The same with the timestamp, which says 2:42 a.m., which is the current time where we uploaded the form. So now we're going to go ahead and open the form and see how it appears. So name of number of pupils, we're going to say 1. And as you can see, all the question under the under the repeat group appear in one page, which is what field list does. Field list picks all the question in a particular group and displays it in one page as opposed to multiple pages as we had earlier. And so these are some of the features that you're only able to work with on ODK Collect, not on Enketo. On Enketo, even if we had put field lists, we're not able to view that. And we can just go ahead now and preview that here and see. We made the change, but the change wouldn't take effect on Enketo. It has no effect to the web view on Enketo. But as you can see here, everything is on one page. But here, it appears on one page even before now, so it doesn't change anything. On our mobile forms, you can see that has changed. So this is something you work with your workflow. If you want the questions to appear on a single page, you can do that. And if you don't, you can make the change. And now we're just going to fill in the 2 compulsory questions. So I'm going to write fname and last name. I think those are the 2 questions we need to answer. And then date of birth, I'm just going to scroll back to any time and click on OK. And we're going to go next. We're going to skip through the questions. Oh, height. We need to impute the height. So let's say 1.6. For the weight, let's say 67. And we can just move over here to the end. Yeah, you could also use these options. These are the save button. If you're filling a form, especially if a form is very long, it's advisable to save it so you don't lose your progress in case of anything. So if you're sure, after you've reached a milestone or a checkpoint, you can just click on save. If you want to navigate through a very long form, instead of us going through next here, we could click on this option here, this arrow here, and we can navigate through the form and we can see all the questions. So we just want to go to the end. And now, as you can see, my form, my instance name is the name of the pupil, and it's only 1 because we only have 1 pupil. So now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and save and send this particular form. And it takes a few seconds and it is sent. So now let's go back to our server and look at it. Let's go to submissions. And as you can see, this is our submission. this is our submission. We have the instance ID, we have the BMI, we have the weight, and so this is our data. The person that sent it is an enumerator. This was the time they sent it, and we've received it. We can change the state of this particular submission. I mean, we can edit it if need be. So we can click on the pencil, and this is the submission that I sent. So if there was an error, I could change the submission. So I could change this to Nigeria and select Hausa here, and then update the submission here. So once I do that, it showed that the submission has been updated. Another great thing is you can see it shows the edit. Admin did the change, which is me. Country of origin was empty, I changed it to NG. Ethnic group was also empty, and I changed it to Hausa. And so if you come to submissions here and we refresh, you're able to see that this form was edited, and it was edited once. You're able to click on more to see those, click on more to see the details about the submission and also the additions that have happened. And so this allows for transparency, and you know what has happened to your data and who did what to your data. So this is basically how to deploy the forms. In the next video, we're going to walk around a few things and see how they appear on our mobile forms. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.